What's up, everybody? I'm Matt McLear.
I'm Matt Brown.
And we're here to talk about NFL Week 1, who we like, our picks, our predictions, because it's that time of the year. It's that time of the year that everybody, well, unless you're not a sports fan, seems to truly enjoy. And we're locked in. We're going to be having football from now all the way till February. And this is the first year that we get a bonus week with 18 weeks of football action. And I don't know about you, Matt, but I'm super excited.
Oh, I'm so excited. Let's just start right now. I just want to go right now. Can we just start, or do we have to actually wait?
Let's just jump right into it. And let's start with the Thursday night game, which is going to be live on NBC. And it's 8:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's Dallas and the defending champion Tampa Bay. This game opened at -6 for Tampa Bay as the favorite coming to that. And you've already seen the line jump. It's now up to 7.5 for Tampa, and love to see. What do you think, Matt?
Like you were saying, if you were looking at these odds in May, you might have seen, oh, this could be close. And Dallas, well, yeah, they could be an exciting team. You got Dak back and healthy. You got Ezekiel Elliott still there. I mean, that could be good for Dallas, but as the weeks have gone on, I mean, look, Hard Knocks is a thing. People are watching that show. Dallas was on it, and they may have disappointed some fans and some others in the media. So, I mean, it's now gotten to more of a 7.5 line for Tampa Bay. And look, they're the defending champs. I like Tampa Bay for this one to start the season.
Yep, and I agree with you here. I'd really like Tampa. Dallas's defense is just absolutely terrible. Interested to see how their offense is. But the biggest thing for me is it's week 1. So everybody knows week 1 is just unpredictable as it is, especially in prime time. First night, I think, even though there was a little bit of some preseason action, the rust is still going to be there. And it's a tough one. You know what I mean? But I do like 7.5. I think Tampa has a capability returning every single starter from that Super Bowl run. But the over-under on that is 52. And that is very intriguing to me because I think both teams have capabilities of putting up some big points. So if I had to pick the over-under, I'd definitely go with the over on this. Even though typically, I think in week 1, the scores are a little bit lower, but the over on this just screams. It's just very, very intriguing to me there.
Yeah, and a Thursday night game, so scores could be well more than you could expect.
So one of the first matchups back at Sunday after your college football experience is Pittsburgh Steelers at the Buffalo Bills, and that is going to be one of the 1:00 games. That opened at 5.5, and it is now up to 6.5, with Buffalo being the favorite. Matt, who do you like here?
I like Buffalo. I mean, they're legit Super Bowl contenders. You still have Josh Allen there and Stephon Diggs and a pretty good Bills defense. Bills Mafia will be back. I mean, this is one of the things coming from 2020 to 2021 in the NFL season. We got the fans back pretty much at full capacity, right, everywhere around the league. So, I mean, Bills Mafia is legit. But I will say, remember that this is a Pittsburgh team last year that started off 11-0. So, I mean, they could keep this game closer than you might think. I still like the Bills.
I just think that the 6.5, some sites have it at 7. I think it's too many points for a veteran Steelers team. Their defense got a little bit better towards the end. And the way that they just got embarrassed in the playoffs last year by the Browns, I think they have that chip on their shoulder. Their rookie running back, I think he's a talent to be seen. They're healthy. So I like the Steelers here. I'm going to go against you. I like that. And the over-under is right around 45. And for me, that screams under. I think the Bills defense, like you mentioned, fantastic defense. And I don't know, week 1, I think they're going to have to fill each other out. I like the under in that one.
I like the Steelers defense too, so I like the under there as well.
And then next, we have a kind of intriguing matchup, a game that I don't think a ton of people really want to watch on week 1, unless you're a fan, and that's the Jets and the Carolina Panthers. 3.5 is what it opened to. Now it's 4.5, with the Panthers being the favorite here, with the Jets on the road. And, typically the home team they usually get about, a point and a half here anyways. So they're thinking, Carolina right around that 4.5 mark, and that half point is always a tricky one. So who do you like here?
It's an instant revenge game for Sam Darnold. I mean, he's coming back to face his old team. Well, actually, his old team is coming to him, and he's got those weapons, maybe the best offense that he's ever been able to lead. Sorry, I mean, New York just never built around him. But I say the Panthers have almost a 70% chance of winning, which I think is low for this one because, look, Carolina's got Christian McCaffrey back and healthy. I think this could be a blowout.
I do too. I agree with you there. Part of me is like, you know what? The Jets, they showed signs on the defensive end until they clearly just didn't want to win anymore. But like I said, coming in at that, that 4.5. It's a tricky point, but like I said, I see Carolina coming in double-digit win. I really like them there, and the over/under on this is at 45 as well. And that's a tough one to me call, but my gut, it just says over. I think, like you said, the Carolina, I could easily see them putting up 25, 28, 35 points, and the Jets, even if they only put up a couple, but I'm thinking 35-10. 35-10.
It could be. I agree with you there.
Awesome. And then the next matchup we have is the Jacksonville Jaguars hosting the Houston Texans. And the Jacksonville on the road opened up at a 2-point favorite, and now it is at a 3-point favorite. So what are you thinking here? Jacksonville, they're saying, hey, field goal better than Houston. What do you think?
Oh boy, this could be the best chance at winning a game for both teams, in my opinion, this year. Look, Jacksonville's so young. Of course, he got Urban Meyer there. This is his first time in the NFL, and then Houston kind of in shambles. Let's be honest here. So I'm gonna say Jacksonville because just talent alone with the youth. I know they're unproven, but I like seeing Jacksonville in this one.
Yeah, they played really well. Now they have their quarterback of the future showed signs in preseason. Granted, it was the last one, so there's some there, but he's clearly the number one as they trade in Minshew. I don't know. Part of me is I'm thinking Houston. They're at home. You know what I mean? They're in shambles, but at the same point, this team has been practicing and, without the distractions and everything, they're still going forward. They're at home. And I don't know. I'm going with them 3 points. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be with there. So I'm going to go with the underdog here because they're getting 3. And the over-under on that is also at that 45. Apparently 45 is the number of week 1. And I'm going to go with the under. Just a lot of uncertainties on both of the offenses. Defenses, pretty, I'd say mediocre. They're not terrible. They're not elite. So I like the under in that one.
Definitely the under for me as well.
And then we're moving on to another 1:00 game. It's the Arizona Cardinals and the Tennessee Titans. I think this is going to be a fantastic matchup. Last year, Arizona, they just kept getting better and better. Tennessee, they are just loaded on both ends. Great coaching staff. So I'm interested. The spread on this opened at 2.5. It's at 3 right now with 52 at the over/under.
This is the air versus the ground, right? And I actually think Kyler Murray will be the difference in this one. I actually think he could break out even more this year. Look, Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins get a second year together, and I think they could have a good fourth quarter in this highly competitive game. It could come down to those two in the end. I just don't know if Tennessee has that fourth quarter ability yet, but they do have a very good team. This could be very entertaining.
I'm liking Tennessee here. I think that they're a little too much. I think the defense is fantastic. They're going to force a couple of turnovers, and I just think that their offense is just too good, too consistent, too many veterans on there. I like Tennessee -3 and over/under 52. This game, in my opinion, that is too tough to call because it's either going to be one of those explosive kind of run and gun, tons of point games, or maybe a team gets up, maybe Tennessee just holds on to the ball and they easily, it could be a 17-10 game. That one's too hard to call, but if I got to pick one, I guess I'm going to go with the under. I think 52 is just a lot of points.
It is a lot of points. Oh, I can see where you're going. I'll go over on this one because I do want to see it go over. I want to see a great game, and I think Kyler Murray and company have the ability to just run the score up, and then Derrick Henry and company with Ryan Tannehill can definitely keep up. So this could be a surprising one in terms of maybe you may expect a defensive battle, but then the offenses will turn it up in the second half.
And then we have the LA Chargers and the Washington football team. That game is up next. Opened at -2. Now it's down to -1. This is pretty much a pick 'em. And like I said, the Chargers are the favorite in this one, but it's almost a pick 'em game. Washington being the underdog while at home. So it's really about a 2.5, 3-point spread, even though it's 1.
I think this is a great offense in the LA Chargers against a great defense again in Washington football team. I like where this is going. I mean, I'm going to take Justin Herbert and the Chargers to start off with a bang, though I know you, Matt, have been choosing some defenses in our picks here today, but look, Ryan Fitzpatrick may have something to say about that in the end. This one I'm looking forward to.
Me as well, and like I said, you can never count out Fitzmagic.
That's right.
But I gotta agree with you on this one. I'm liking the Chargers here with that -1 being a pick'em game. I think they're at least a field goal better than these guys. And yeah, you figured me out. I'm a defensive kind of guy, but yeah, I like that there. The over/under is 44.5. I love the under on this one. I'm not sure what the offenses can do, And I don't know, that just screams under for me. Next up, we have the Philadelphia Eagles, the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta is opening up. They opened up at a 4-point favorite. It's down to 3.5. Hasn't really moved too much. Battle of the Birds. Who do you think flies away with this one?
Oh boy, I want to just throw this one kind of unique stat out there. Matt Ryan has started every season for the Falcons since 2008. Okay, I think you know that. But guess what? The Eagles quarterback on the other side, in 2008, Jalen Hurts was 10 years old. It's just going to be the juxtaposition in this game. I have no idea how this one will go. I mean, I like Atlanta just because they have a little bit more consistency in terms of roster and a little bit of system there. But look, no Julio Jones in a run-heavy offense. There's going to be a lot of difference here in how Atlanta's going to look. For the Eagles, I don't know if they even had an identity last year, so we're still going to not know how they're going to look coming into this one. So new coaches, new systems. This first game could be rough for both sides. I'll take Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm liking the Atlanta pick. Philly, in my opinion, is just an absolute mess at this time. Maybe they continue to get better, but for me, it's tough to kind of go with or like anybody that is in the NFC East, including Philadelphia. So yeah, I like Atlanta here with the 3.5 and 48's the over/under. I definitely like the under on this one.
Me too.
Maybe there's a trend. Maybe I'm just going to go under on everyone and hope that pays off. Next one is an intriguing matchup, to say the least. It's the Seattle Seahawks traveling to the Indianapolis Colts. Colts open up as a 2-point favorite, and now it is at 2.5, but it switched to Seattle. That's quite the, that's a 4.5-point switch, with Seattle being the favorite here.
There's so many unknowns to me for Indy with their quarterback Carson Wentz and whether he'll be able to play. I mean, I like going with what's known here. I mean, the Seattle Seahawks have a playoff-ready team, and they have Russell Wilson, right? And I think they win this a little easier than some may think.
I mean, the Colts have a great team. They've kind of been lacking that, solid quarterback. They have the weapons, they have the defense, but Seattle, they're always a contender. They're always a fairly good team, and some of their fans travel well. I think it's going to be tough with the noise in Indianapolis. So sorry, Pat McAfee and the boys. I like Seattle here as well at -2.5. The over-under is 48.5. I like the over on this one just because I haven't said over in a while.
I think this could be an over. I mean, Seattle may let Russ cook, and that will mean more points for the Seahawks.
Yep, well said. Next matchup we have is another 1 o'clock. There's 2 1 o'clock games left on the schedule. It's the Minnesota Vikings that are traveling to the Cincinnati Bengals. Minnesota opened up as a 2.5-point favorite. Now they are a 3-point favorite, so not a lot of line movement. They're both kind of said there.
I love this matchup. I mean, Minnesota brings a perennial playoff caliber team. I think their defense has gotten better for this year. I also think Joe Burrow and Cincinnati are ready to have their breakout season. Boy, I think the biggest question mark is how Burrow kind of looks in his first official game back from that injury from last year. But I mean, I think I like the Bengals either way here to surprise. This is maybe my surprise.
All right, I like it. So you are liking Cincinnati +3. Yeah. I'm just going to go the opposite. I'm liking Minnesota -3. I think they're 7 to 10 points better, and I just like what Minnesota has here. I think they're going to start off strong this year after kind of being a roller coaster of a team. Losing to a couple of games they shouldn't have, won a couple of games that they were right in it, and I think they're going to start the season off great. They're going to start off 1-0. They're going to beat the Bengals. 48 is the number here for the over/under. I am liking the over. Like you said, Joe Burrows, yeah. I think they're going to come out on fire. I think Minnesota's going to put up a lot of points as well. I'm looking forward to that matchup.
This could be very high scoring. I'm going to love this one.
So our last 1 o'clock matchup is the San Francisco 49ers heading all the way over to the middle of the U.S., going into Detroit. San Francisco opened up at a 7-point favorite and is now up to 7.5. And that half a point is a huge addition when you're talking about the spreads and stuff.
Look, if you like old school running football games with innovating blocking schemes, this is the game of the week for you. Look, the Niners and Coach Kyle Shanahan love the ground game. We all know that. This Detroit Lions team, I think, is trying to re-identify themselves, and I think they'll re-identify to the ground game. They've got a good running back in DeAndre Swift, and, well, look, it's not Matthew Stafford under center anymore. It's Jared Goff. With new coaching on the sidelines, I'm going to say Detroit isn't there for San Francisco to they're just going to run all over them in this one, I think.
Yeah, 7.5's a lot of points.
It is.
I I think Detroit is just that bad. Sorry, any Detroit fans. I think you would agree with me. There's just not a lot of consistency there. You got a lot of new stuff going on, and I just think the Niners are a little more seasoned at this point. I'm gonna take them in a blowout here, and the over/under in this is now 45.5. It's lowered a couple of points from the opening, and I'm gonna take the over on this because I think the Niners are gonna put up at least 30 on Detroit, and they're gonna have to chip in some kind of points, I'd imagine.
They could. I may say Detroit's even worse in this case because I think I'd take the under. The 49ers can score 30. I don't know if Detroit can get that many points on the board against San Francisco's defense, who I think Nick Bosa is going to go all over and he's going to feast on these Lions.
I agree with that. Usually it's Lions feasting on, other things in the wild, but at this point, the lion is not the king of the jungle. So let's move on to the afternoon games. So let's talk about a very intriguing matchup. You have Cleveland Browns traveling to Kansas City. It opened at 6. It's still at 6 in favor of the Chiefs. The over-under on this is 53.
Well, remember, this is a playoff game from last year where the Chiefs beat the Browns. Remember, Chad Henne came in for a concussed Patrick Mahomes, and that one had a wild finish. Don't think there's going to be a wild finish in this one. Patrick Mahomes and company are back at 100%. It's tough. I think Cleveland's a very good team. It's just, I know it's not a bye week, but people like saying Andy Reid on a bye week. This is Andy Reid to start the season. I like Kansas City.
It is very, very hard to not like Kansas City when they're at home.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to say it's week 1. Anything can happen in Cleveland. I think they're going to continue to get better and better. I like Cleveland +6 going in there. I think they're going to keep it close. And as far as the 53, I'm going to go with the over. I think there's going to be a ton of points. I'm liking like a 31-28 game.
Yeah, I can see 20 points on both sides in the second half alone. So This is definitely going to be high scoring.
Absolutely. And then we slide into a Miami Dolphin, New England Patriots, AFC East matchup to start week 1. Miami opens up as a 2.5 point underdog, which very surprised me because New England, they got a lot of stuff going on. Cam Newton's out, Mac Jones in, a lot of kind of unknowns. And everybody says, yes, Bill Belichick, the mastermind. Tough year for him last year without Brady. And I'm very intrigued by this. And I'd love to hear what you have to say.
I think they're picking New England just off of Bill Belichick alone because, look, young quarterbacks in this one. I think there will be more eyes on this game than if Cam Newton were starting for the Patriots. But now it's Mac Jones versus Tua Tagovailoa. At the very least, the entire state of Alabama will be watching this one. I actually wouldn't be surprised if this came down to 1 point either way. Boy, I'm just going to take Miami. I like the consistency for Miami. I know Tua wasn't the starter the whole year last year, but he definitely started for this team more games than Mac Jones has started for New England. I'm going to take him for week 1.
Yep, I'm liking Miami here too. Maybe it's because, I'm just a huge fan of watching New England not have as, much success because they were so good for so long. But either way, I really do like Miami in this matchup. They're getting a couple of points. Like you said, it could go either way. It could be close. But I think Miami, which is weird to say, is a more seasoned team than New England. And you don't usually say that, especially in the last couple of decades.
Yeah, this is kind of like New England versus New England 2.0. Brian Flores is coming from the Bill Belichick tree. So defense is going to be pretty stout on either side.
Now we're going to head into Denver, is traveling to the East Coast. They're going to go play the New York Giants in New Jersey. And this opened as a 1 point favor in the Giants. They were -1. Now it's -2.5 going to Denver. 42 is the over-under here.
I think this Broncos defense could be similar to their Super Bowl ones with Von Miller healthy again. They go up against maybe the most questionable offense in the league. I mean, no doubt about it, they have some talent. Kenny Golladay there now. But look, Denver won't score much, but I think they're going to score enough. I don't see this Giants offense doing much against the Denver defense in this one.
I agree with you. I like Denver all the way on this one. Only 2.5 points. I think they're easily better than a field goal with these guys. We kind of said earlier, the NFC East, I don't trust any of them. They're out, you know what I mean? Some of them are, with Dallas has a great offense, terrible defense. Washington's a little bit, better defense than offense. The Giants, I'm not sure if they're good at anything, but they're younger. People seem, they're still on the fence with Daniel Jones. I like Denver in this one as well. Now we're going to head into the last 425 game, and it's the Green Bay Packers, New Orleans Saints. This one's super intriguing, and this is another one that kind of flipped. The Saints opened up as a 1.5-point favorite, which is pretty much a pick'em game, and now Green Bay is a 3-point favorite. So that means they got to win by 4 or more, and that's a tougher number to overcome.
I know why it's probably moved towards Green Bay's favor. I mean, this is not in New Orleans. This is not a home game. It's a home game per se, but I mean, with everything going on down in Baton Rouge and stuff like that, look, this is now in Jacksonville. It's not really a home game for New Orleans. It's close, but it's not. And it's not Drew Brees under center for them anymore. It's now Jameis Winston. He's no rookie. I get it. But Aaron Rodgers is still on the other side in Green Bay. I think he'll handle the circumstances a little better than Jameis here in week 1.
I'd like to think, with, the whole rally behind the city like they've had to do in the past, New Orleans comes out fired up. There's probably going to be more people in the stands in Jacksonville knowing that Jacksonville isn't playing. But I like Green Bay here. Aaron Rodgers, he, in my opinion, everything that happened in the offseason, he's on a little bit of a mission. I think he comes out firing. He has so many weapons. He has a running game, a passing game. He has some defense. They're going to be a tough out this year. Yeah, I like Green Bay. And we're going to shift into the Sunday night game, which is an intriguing matchup as well. You have Chicago Bears traveling to the LA Rams. This opened at a 6.5-point favor for the Rams, and it's now up to 7.5 points.
Look, 2 veteran quarterbacks on new teams. I think this game is going to take some getting used to, right? Andy Dalton in a Bears uniform, Matthew Stafford in a Rams uniform. Oh, this is going to be a little bit interesting just to see those guys there. They are poised and ready, are the Rams, to make a deep playoff run, I think, this year. It starts with this game. Chicago fans might just be waiting for the week that they start their rookie Justin Fields. Let's be honest. So
yeah, you know what I mean? Obviously, he has a short leash because they're going to be calling from there. Chicago's already booing some of their players. It's just a mess in there. I think the Rams, like you said, too many weapons, too many veterans. Yeah, it's 7.5. They added that extra 0.5 point, but I think I like the Rams double digits, no problem. The Bears are the Bears. What else do you have to say on this one? So yeah, I agree with you here. Let's talk about the Monday night matchup. You have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Baltimore opened up at a 5.5-point favor, and now it's down to a 4.5. So they did drop a point.
I'm really intrigued to watch how the home field advantage affects this one. Look, first game with fans in Vegas, and they face a really good Ravens team. Talent goes Baltimore's way, but I might have to say that momentum could skew Vegas in this one. I almost want to pick Vegas just to see how the Raider Nation affects this football game.
Yeah, Baltimore, they're solid, but they've been beat up. They lost the running back. They have a couple of receivers beat up. I think that's why it dropped a point. I'm going to go Vegas here. Strictly, it is a Monday night game. It's a primetime game. Week 1, kind of like we spoke about in the Thursday night game, it's kind of unpredictable. So I'm taking strictly the points on this, plus 4.5. That leads, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a loss for Vegas, or if they happen to put up more points in that.
Me too. And I also think that on Monday nights and just on primetime games, as you were mentioning, look, I think under John Gruden, Vegas, at least off the top of my head, has had those primetime moments where they are able to pull off big wins. I think I do remember one against New England a couple of years ago. I remember those games in Mexico as well. They've played well. So I do like Vegas in this one. Let me take us towards some of our great bets, one of our best bets of the week, surefire ones that maybe you can say, oh, Matt and Matt said, these are the bets that I should be looking at, right? Let's look at the New England Patriots to beat Miami. Look, we both liked Miami in this one, but New England, with the experience of just Bill Belichick alone, could take this week 1 matchup. What do you think about that? Just surefire bet.
I mean, that's one of the lock of the weeks, like you said, by some of our colleagues, and they know something here. You know what I mean? Like, maybe hopefully they're not doing it because they are just a New England fan, but they're saying, hey, you know what? New England, doesn't matter if you have Brady, doesn't matter if you have Belichick, doesn't matter who's there. They're New England. They're at home. They're tough to beat. And like you said, that's one lock of the week.
Another lock of the week is Pittsburgh being able to just cover against Buffalo. And I think we talked about this in terms of it's +7. I mean, that's a lot of points for Buffalo to be up on against Pittsburgh. And just for Pittsburgh to cover, I think that could be a lock.
Yeah, this one was my lock of the week.
Yeah.
I went Pittsburgh 7. Like I said earlier, I think they're just a veteran team. Both, very good teams, playoff contenders, maybe Super Bowl contenders. I think they're very similar in talent. I see it being a very close game, very lopsided. It's hard for me to think that Big Ben this could be the last season for him, is going to come out week 1, 0-1, and let alone just kind of get blown out. So that was my lock of the week.
Right. And then another lock is the 49ers to win against Detroit. I mean, not much else to say here. We both said Detroit is kind of in shambles here, and San Francisco should handle. And then Jacksonville against Houston, taking the -3. I mean, I liked Jacksonville taking it over the Texans just because they have the talent, and I don't know if Houston's there.
No, yeah, very well said. And like I said, maybe Trey comes out and he's just up firing all cylinders. So that's another good lock of the week.
And then the Rams to win against Chicago. That's another one in terms of that being a Sunday night game, and I think we both agree that Chicago's not there yet. We're just waiting for Justin Fields to be the starter, and the Rams primed and ready for the playoff run, and I think they're primed and ready to show up in prime time for this one. That's definitely a lock.
So those are our locks of the week, and that's all what we have for you. So all you have to do now, you can rewatch this, you can continue to listen to our advice. This was our kind of week 1, our first edition of the NFL picks and predictions, and we can't thank you guys enough for watching this. We're going to be back next week for week 2, so make sure you guys stay tuned, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. We greatly appreciate it. And I'm Matt, and that's Matt. Enjoy opening week, because I know we are.